mind. Give me some directions to get.
Well, so DCT, 7-speed DSG, CVT, AMT. Well, there's a whole plethora of gearboxes options out there, and automatic gearboxes can be a little confusing. In this video today, I'm going to talk to you about actually five types of gearboxes in automatic, and tell you what are the big differences, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and why you should consider buying which kind of gearbox. And let's start off with the most affordable automatic gearbox technology, and that of course is the AMT. Now, a lot of people think that AMT means automatic gearbox, and even for a DCT they say, well, I want to buy an AMT car. To be honest, an AMT is an automated manual transmission. Now, AMT basically means that yes, there is a clutch in the car. It's an automated manual transmission, not an automatic transmission. It's an AMT, which means automated manual transmission, and it basically means that yes, there is a clutch in the car, and the gearbox of course is automatic, but the car's sensors change the gearbox for you or change the gears for you, and all you have to do is basically brake and accelerate, and the car does the gear shifting for you. So this is of course a very affordable technology, and a lot of affordable cars or cars which are on the cheaper side of things offer this technology. Now, the good point about this technology is that it's very reliable, and even if something does go wrong, God forbid, on your car, it's very affordable to fix, because the price difference between a manual car of the same range, of the same segment, and of course an AMT car with the automated manual transmission isn't very huge. And as I just said, it's a very robust technology. It's a technology which isn't very expensive, and buying such a car also means that fuel efficiency is more or less the same as it is to the manual. That's also a big benefit, because on some other type of gearboxes, automatic gearboxes, they can sap your fuel quite a bit, and AMT cars don't do that. So that's a big advantage. The other advantage, as I said, is of course the fact that it's affordable, and spare parts as well as maintenance costs aren't as high as they are on some other high-end technologies. The downside though is the fact that AMT gearboxes are very lurchy, and they mar a lot of jhatkas. So if you're driving a car and you really want to overtake something and move forward, overtaking that slow moving rickshaw or maybe a bus or something, and you press the accelerator pedal hard and the gearbox is in full automatic mode, it takes a second or two, because as I just said, it's very affordable technology. So a lot of gearboxes are very slow, and they mar those jhatkas in AMT cars. And of course, what cars come with AMT, it's most of the affordable range from Maruti and Hyundai as well, which offer you this kind of technology. So those are the plus and minus points of the AMT gearbox. Now, a slightly different variation of the AMT gearbox has just been introduced in the market. It is called the IMT gearbox, which is of course the international manual transmission. No, it's not the international manual transmission. It's the intelligent manual transmission from Hyundai and Kia, and they've launched it with the Venue as well as with the i20, and also now with the Sonnet. Now, what is this technology all about? Essentially, it's more or less the same. You get a clutch which is inside the system. It's not there. The pedal isn't there, and the sensors again, notice when you want to change gears and when you're using the clutch and the brake, and they change the clutch for you, not the gears. They change the clutch for you, and of course you have to change the gears yourself. There is a gear lever, and this is a technology which is the best of both worlds. If you ask someone who wants a little bit of control over the gearbox, you want to change gears yourself, but you really are tired using that left leg and press the clutch regularly, then this car will change the clutch for you, or use the clutch for you rather, and engage and disengage the clutch for you automatically, and all you need to do is simply change gears. Now, the downfall of this technology is of course that sometimes when you're driving around and you don't know which gear you are in, you can sometimes be in the wrong gear, but the car mostly will have a beep noise and tell you to downshift or upshift or whatever, and then you can do it. That's the only minor negative. Apart from that, it's a fabulous technology, and fabulous because of the fact that just like an AMT, it's not very expensive to use. The pricing is very good, very affordable, and also fuel efficiency wise, there's not a much big difference in terms of the manual or this gearbox. So it's more or less the same in terms of fuel efficiency, in terms of affordability, as well as longevity, because these gearboxes, as I just said, are very simple, and this technology is very simple and very affordable, which means that in the long run also you won't be spending too much money on maintenance costs. Now, the third gearbox is of course the CVT, which is a continuous variable transmission. Honda was one of the first manufacturers which launched it with the original City, or the second generation City rather, and this is a technology which really is a technology which has no gears. The CVT doesn't have a gear. It has two pulleys which of course move up and down depending on the revs that you put into the engine, and it's a good technology because for city driving it's a very hassle-free technology. The gears of course move very seamlessly. A lot of manufacturers now offer you a torque converter as well along with the CVT, so you can use the gearbox manually using pedal shifters in the city and also use it on the S mode, but actually there aren't any gears in a CVT gearbox. The plus point is that fuel efficiency is very good. The other plus point is that it's not got those jhatkas or those lurches. The big negative is, of course, that it's a very rubber band kind of gearbox. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you want a quick acceleration move, you really press the accelerator hard. The revs really do mount up. There's a lot of noise, a lot of buzz, but the engine, the gearbox and the engine don't really seem to be quick immediately. They take a little time and a couple of seconds, and after that they start get going. So that's a gearbox which a lot of people who are enthusiasts don't really prefer, but for people who drive a lot in the city, who really want to drive in a calm and sensible manner, it's a good gearbox. It's also very reliable. Honda CVT gearboxes have been very reliable over so many years, and of course this technology now is being used by other manufacturers as well. Hyundai has launched Verna with this technology as well, and it's a good gearbox for fuel efficiency. Now, the other gearbox, which is the most famous gearbox, is of course the torque converter. And the torque converter really is a traditional automatic gearbox which uses one single clutch and of course automatically changes gears for you. You can use the S mode, the sport mode, etc. And this is a gearbox which is really the traditional gearbox, the gearbox which a lot of cars come with. If you don't see a logo of maybe a DCT, or maybe a CVT or any other logo on your car which says just automatic, chances are that it is a torque converter. Now, Hyundai has launched this technology with a lot of cars. Of course, Kia recently launched the Sonet with this gearbox on the diesel, and it became the first car in its segment which had this gearbox. And this is a technology which is tried and tested. It's been there for a long time. It's good in terms of reliability. It's good in terms of responsiveness. The only downside is that these gearboxes sap a little bit of fuel and they aren't as efficient as maybe a manual is, or maybe even an AMT or CVT is. So that is the only negative side, because if you compare the automatic versions of these gearboxes with their manuals, you'll see that there is a slight difference in terms of the fuel efficiency. What are the examples of this kind of gearbox? Well, like a CVT comes on the Honda City, the dual clutch, or rather the torque converter, comes with cars like the Kia Sonet diesel, as well as the automatic versions of some other cars out there, and also comes on the Ford EcoSport petrol. So the last kind of gearbox, automatic gearbox, is of course DCT. Now, what is a DCT? DCT essentially means dual clutch transmission, and as the name suggests, it is of course a car which runs with two clutches. Now, the two clutches means that there is one clutch which is completely assigned to gears with even numbers, and the other clutch is completely assigned to gears with odd numbers. And what this does is that before the gear shift, the clutch is already engaged and ready to use the other gear. So it's a very quick responding gearbox, and these gearboxes, because of their nature, sometimes people say can become a little expensive to maintain. So after maybe 1 lakh kilometers, when you need an overall and change of gearbox oil and stuff like that, sometimes with some expensive German cars, these gearboxes do need some heavy maintenance. But apart from that, these gearboxes are the best in the business when it comes to automatic transmissions. They offer you seamless shifts, they offer you great power delivery, they also offer you the flexibility, because normally these gearboxes come with 7-speed transmissions, which means that the extra 6th and 7th gears in these gearboxes give the engine better flexibility. So maybe when you're doing speeds in excess of 100 kph on the highway, the engine is only spinning at 1400-1500 rpm in top gear, which means that noise and vibrations are taken care of. They don't enter the cabin, and also fuel efficiency is enhanced because of the flexible nature of these gearboxes. And of course, most of these gearboxes are found in sporty cars because they're a little more expensive, so they're also a little more desirable. And Hyundai now is offering it with the Venue, with also the new i20. Kia is offering these gearboxes with their Sonet, and of course Skoda were the first ones to bring these kind of gearboxes in the relatively affordable range with the Skoda Octavia range, and of course later on with the Laura. And as I just said, these gearboxes really are the best in terms of technology, in terms of gear shifts, in terms of fuel efficiency. Also, they're not bad. They offer you very good fuel efficiency compared to the manuals, very relatively close to the manuals. And they really are the cream of automatic gearboxes in terms of being the cherry on top of the cake. They really are the best technology. And I just said, these kind of gearboxes became popular with the VW Polo GT-TSI, which sold at about 10 lakh rupees when it was launched about 6-7 years ago. And after that, of course, now the Venue, the other cars in the Hyundai family, and also the Kia Sonet have more popularized these gearboxes. And what kind of gearbox do you prefer? Do you prefer manual? Do you prefer DCT? Do you prefer an automatic? Do you prefer regular automatic, which is of course the torque converter? Do you prefer any of these fancy gearboxes? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you did enjoy watching this video today, please don't forget to leave without giving us a thumbs up. Even if you didn't like it, give us a thumbs up, because that is what keeps us motivated. And also do subscribe to this channel. It's bye for now, and thanks for watching.
You drive me crazy, tell me what to do.